Hey guys, I'm Soda here back in another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing Toy Story 4. Now, Toy Story 4 is directed by Josh Cooley and features Tom Hanks, Annie Potts, Tony Hale, Tim Allen, Christina Hendricks, Keegan Michael Kay, Jordan Peele, Keanu Reeves, Joan Cusack, and Madeline McGraw, and Lila Sage Brimley. So the plot of Toy Story 4 is it takes place sometime, I think maybe a year after Toy Story 3, and we see that Woody is a totally different person now. I mean, he's the same person, but people view him differently now. Like including Bonnie. Like Bonnie, like that's not like what was I gonna say? Like Bonnie does not like Woody anymore. Like she always acts like Woody isn't there. She never likes playing with him anymore, and so Woody feels very hurt from that. And he's always just kept in the closet. And he's not even the leader of the toys anymore. It's always just Dolly who's the leader of the toys. Like it is not taking control of the toys. Like he's mostly just to the background now, which I feel like is very sad actually. And so yeah, so Woody's just changed like that, and then Bonnie, and then one day Bonnie decides to go. Bonnie has kindergarten orientation, and so when she gets there, like she has no friends and she's very shy and she's just sitting by herself. So she decides to make a friend, like literally make a friend, and that is what they call Forky. And Forky is just this sport that she made. Like she put like this she put sticks in the bottom of his in the bottom of him, and then she even gave him like red string arms, and then Google eyes and like some sort of smile, and then that makes a toy. Yeah, so he becomes a toy, and but like once he's born, like he automatically wants to go to the trash, but Woody does not want that at all. And so that's basically what Woody does a lot throughout the entire first act, is trying to make sure Forky doesn't get to the trash, like trying to like keep him safe and trying to like show him that life isn't trash. Like you have to be with Bonnie. Like that's what you have to do now, is you have to always be there for Bonnie now that you're a toy. But he doesn't want to be a toy. He just wants to go to the trash because that's where he was born, and so he's just scared of the world. He's scared of Bonnie too. And so they decide to go on a road trip. Bonnie and her parents, they decide to go on a road trip, and so throughout this whole road trip, like Woody keeps doing the same thing, trying to trying to make sure he doesn't go to the trash, and then this one time when they're driving, Forky actually goes out of the window. And so Woody has like goes out the window too to get Forky. And so he convinces him about like okay, your Bonnie needs you and all this stuff. Like he convinces him that how Bonnie needs him. Yeah, and so from there, that's what makes Forky want to go back with Bonnie. And then Bonnie's family end up going to this amusement park, this fair, this county fair, and Bonnie's really sad that she can't find Forky, and so Woody and Forky end up going to the same amusement park too, and so they're trying to find Bonnie there. But once they're trying to find Bonnie there, they end up encountering this other toy, or this doll named what's her name? Gabby Gabby. Yeah, Gabby Gabby is the main villain of the movie, and so she wants Woody's music box or whatever it is, like his sound box that makes the string talk. Yeah, so she wants that because she wants it for herself, because she wants to fix her music box too, so she can finally have a kid, like have an owner. Yeah, but Woody does not want her to take his voice box at all. And so he barely ends up escaping from her, but he accidentally left Forky behind. And so what was I gonna say? And so that's basically the whole plot, is him, like he's trying to go back to get Forky, and then he ends up meeting up with Bo Peep too, his old girlfriend. And then like she helps him to what was I gonna say? To find Forky. On the other hand, we follow with the gang. We follow with just Buzz, and Buzz is trying to find Woody too. Like he's trying to find Woody and Forky because they've been gone for too long, and so he's just looking through this whole amusement park trying to find Woody and Forky. So yeah, that's the whole plot of Toy Story 4. Now, do I like Toy Story 4? Yes, I love Toy Story 4 actually. I honestly think this holds up as much as 3 actually. This was really good actually. I even might say that I might like this like a bit better than 3 actually. This was such a good movie, and this came out in my favorite summer of all, the summer of 2019. That was literally a blast. And I don't think I'll ever get a summer like that ever again actually. So yeah, and I remember in the summer of 2019, I was literally seeing movies every freaking week. Like every week of the summer, like there was always a cool movie coming out. Because after this came out, even the Child's Play remake came out the next week, and so on. And so the next week, Spider-Man: Far From Home, and so on and on. Like I kept seeing movies, Lion King, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, just so much movies I kept seeing in the summer. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, this definitely came out in the best time for me. And so I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie too. What was I gonna say? So yeah, this movie is amazing. Actually, it's so cute. It's so amazing, and yeah, yeah. It's just everything about it is awesome. So let's get on with the characters to this movie, starting off with Woody. Now, I really love the way they completely changed Woody. Like they changed Woody a lot in this movie. Like he is not the same Woody as he was in the first 3 at all. I mean a bit, but not that much. Like I said in the beginning of the review, he's not a favorite toy, and he does not control. He's not the leader of the toys, and then he's just like there, like like to the other toys, like, and Bonnie, he's just there. He's not even there to Bonnie actually. Like she never even sees him. Like whenever he always has Forky in his hands for her, but she always just takes Forky and never him. Like there's even a part where even her mom gives her both Forky and Woody, and she just takes Forky. Yeah, Bonnie is such a bitch to Woody. Yeah, and I just feel so bad for Woody actually. Like literally tears for Woody actually. Um, what was I gonna say? And I could find a smidge relate to Woody too. What was I gonna say? Let me think. So yeah, and I just really love how Woody is still the same with taking care of you, with taking care of his own, the owner, and making sure the kid is happy. Like he's still that way. He's still he'll still never give up on you. Like he's still like that, and I love that a lot about him. But but I really like this too. Oh yeah. I forgot to mention. I keep forgetting to mention this. I should have mentioned this like in the beginning of the reviews. Like I should keep a reminder. So if you have not seen this movie, leave this review because I am gonna get into some spoilers. But I'm pretty sure most of you have seen this movie already. Like who hasn't seen Toy Story 4? I remember like so much kids my age want to go see this movie at when I went to see it. Like I saw like 4 people from like the school I went to that went to see it, that were in either my grade or a year older. Let me think. So yeah, like I said about Woody, like sometimes he does feel forced about doing this. Like he does, like himself, like he feels forced to do this to take care of Bonnie. Like he feels forced at times, and I like that a lot about him. How his character is slowly changing throughout the whole movie, and he's definitely my favorite character in this whole movie, and he's definitely my favorite character in the whole series too. Like easily, Woody is my favorite character of all of Toy Story. I mean, I love Buzz too, but Woody's definitely the main standout for me. Let me think. And I think, I would say this movie is a lot of more of Woody's movie than it is of anyone else's actually, because Buzz, I mean, he's in this movie a lot, but like there are other movies where he's in it more. Like I would say he was in it a lot more in the first 3. So I would say in this one, like he was the least like he had the least amount of screen time, but he had some screen time. I don't know, but he was still in it though. Like he still had a pretty big role, but like in the first 3, he had more bigger roles. Let me think. Anything else I should say about Woody? Anything else? Oh yeah, and I love his whole like relationship with Bo Peep when he's with Bo Peep like after 10 years of not seeing her, like and I love that scene too when they first go into the amusement park, but before they're gonna go to Bonnie, like he sees Bo's lamp, and he's like Is that Bo? Like he before he goes to Bonnie, like he wants to see if Bo Peep is there, and I just really love how much he cares for Bo Peep, and throughout the movie, slowly and slowly, he starts to care more for Bo Peep than anyone else. Yeah, and yeah, and literally like I'll get to that part of the story once I talk about Bo Peep, okay? And then I love his whole like he is literally so much friends with Forky. Like I love his whole friendship with Forky. It was just such a cute friendship. Um, anything else I should say about Woody? Oh yeah, and I really like how like I said, he's just super caring. He's like I said, he's super caring. So yeah, everything about Woody is so good. I can't find a single negative about Woody or a single dull moment about Woody in this movie. He's great in this whole movie. Okay, now let's talk about Bo Peep now. Now, Bo Peep, she's easily the best. Like, this is easily the best we've seen of Bo Peep, actually, because, she wasn't in part three, but in the first two, it was sort of just a love relationship that was just there and just there for Woody to, like, have something else to love too. But here, it feels a lot more than that, actually. Like, it feels like the relationship is so deep in this movie, and you can really feel their relationship a lot. Even when they're not dating, like you can still feel their whole dynamic, their duo, and it's so beautiful. And what was I gonna say? And slowly and slowly, like they start to catch feelings for each other. Like they start getting back together, and yeah, it's just so cool. And well, Bo Peep is such a badass in this movie too. Like she has some pretty cool scenes in this movie. Like I love that skunk she drives around in the amusement park, and I love how like she knows how to do stuff. Like she knows like she's always moving the string and like putting her cane down to go down like a zip line. Like she always knows what to do, and she's very tough and like she's very smart. And I love that a lot about her. Like she's brave too. And then I like her little friends too, like her little sheep buddies, the three sheeps, and yeah, and I really like their names. I think their names were Bill, Goat, and Gruff. Yeah, I think those are their names. Yeah, they were pretty cute. Oh yeah, and I really like that part with Ducky and Bunny where they're just talking so loud in the antique shop, and then the sheep turn around, and then they're like, "Oh wow, that sheep has three heads. Those six eyes are looking at your soul." Yeah, and so yeah, Bo Peep, yeah, she was cool. Now let's talk about Forky. I really like Forky a lot in this movie. Like at first I thought like Forky was gonna be an annoying character, like he was gonna get on my nerves, but no, like he was not annoying at all. Like he actually had some pretty emotional scenes. Like he had a lot of scenes that really hit you. And I really like in the beginning how he just wants to be in trash because trash is all cozy and all of that. That's where he was born. Like I really like the whole aspect a lot. And then I like that scene in the beginning where Woody tells Forky about everything about Andy and all the stuff that happened in the first three. And then I really like when Forky's like sees the point that Bonnie is like he's Bonnie's trash, like cuz he enjoys trash so much. Like trash is soft, cozy, sometimes squishy. Yeah, and so he thinks that that's how Bonnie sees him, and so that's why he wants to go and go back for with Bonnie. Yeah, so I really like that whole aspect, and then I really like the scenes where he's with Gabby Gabby, and he's starting to learn a lot more about Gabby Gabby, and he's starting to learn like what she wants, and then he's really being friends with Gabby Gabby too. And then I really like it when he tells Gabby Gabby all that Woody tells her, so Gabby Gabby can know her. But I'll get to that once I get a Gabby Gabby. Yeah. So yeah. I really love Forky a lot, and he had this a really emotional scene at the end too, which I'll get to once I talk about the ending. Uh, Now let's talk about Buzz Lightyear. I really love Buzz Lightyear in this movie, but I just wish he was in it for a bit more though. Like I wish he would like he should have been in it for a bit more, and there should have been more. And I just wish there were a bit more scenes involving Woody and Buzz, because I think they make the coolest duo actually. Like one of the coolest duos I've ever seen, and yeah, and I just really wanted their duo to be there for just a little bit more scenes. But yeah, but I still really love Buzz a lot in this movie. Like I really love the whole that whole thing where he's trying to speak to his inner voice, like that whole plot line where he's trying to speak to his inner voice because Woody tells him you know, my inner voice always tells me like I should do this, like that I shouldn't stop like caring for Bonnie. And then he's like, well, what inner voice? Like your voice box? Yeah, and so he uses his inner voice to help guide him to finding Woody and being in the amusement park. I really love that whole ratio so much, where he's pressing his buttons and they're telling him like what to do and where to go. Yeah, those scenes are amazing. Yeah, and that those scenes are really funny too. Like when he pushes the button and he's like, "Meteor shower up ahead," and he looks up and there's Woody and Bo, and he's like, "Good going," in her voice. Yeah, and I can't wait for Buzz's own movie, because Buzz Lightyear is gonna get his own movie I think next year, and he's gonna be voiced by Chris Evans this time. I absolutely can't wait for that movie. Like yeah, but from what I hear, that's not about the toy Buzz. It's about what the toy Buzz is based off, but it still sounds awesome. So yeah, Buzz, yeah, and he definitely had a lot of emotional scenes in this movie too. And yeah, even though Woody and Buzz's duo is not in it very much, it's still awesome. What was I gonna say? So yeah, and I just really like how like he really wants to help out too. Like he really wants to help out. Like he's always there to help out Woody, and I love that a lot about him. So yeah, Buzz was awesome in this movie. Now let's talk about the main villain to this movie, Gabby Gabby. Now Gabby Gabby, she's kind of the villain, but like she does some villainous stuff, and she does really much act like a villain, but by the end of it, she's not really the villain very much. But I really like Gabby Gabby a lot. I think she's adorable, and for a villain, I think she's very adorable, and yeah, and she's a great villain actually. Like she holds up. Does she hold up as much as Lotso? I'll have to think about that if she holds up as much as Lotso. But yeah, she was an amazing villain, and I love all the scenes with her. And I love that whole plot line with her trying to get Woody's music box, and I like all the dummies she owns too. Like she always has these dummies watching out for her, and they're basically her security, and I love that so much. And those dummies are so creepy, and I love that scene so much where Forky's saying goodbye to the dummies, and then the dummy turns around with his mouth open. He's like, "Oh wow, he's terrifying." Yeah, yeah. All the scenes with the dummies were pretty creepy at times. Um, so yeah, but I thought they were really good helpers to Gabby Gabby, and I like the main one, Benson. Anything else I just say about Gabby Gabby? Oh yeah, and I love how she knows she's starting to know Woody, because Forky's telling her about Woody, and so she starts to know who Woody is, his weakness, and all of that, like who he like what he does, and I really like that a lot about her. Like she knows so much about Woody, and those are the greatest villains right there. Is the ones that know so much about the main characters, about the heroes. Uh, is there anything else I say about Gabby Gabby? So yeah, and I really like her the whole plot with her too. How she's trying to work her music box to impress this little girl named Harmony that always goes to the antique shop. Yeah, yeah, and I really like that whole thing at the end. I thought that was pretty funny, but I'll get to that. Um, so yeah, I think that's all about Gabby Gabby. Now let's talk about Bunny and Ducky. They were so funny, actually. Like I thought they were the funniest parts of the whole movie. Actually, Bunny and Ducky had a lot of hilarious moments. Like when they're first introduced, like it's so funny because they're in the prize section, and then Buzz gets there too, and then Buzz is like, "Hey, hey, can you guys help me?" And they're like, "Yeah, we can help you with my foot." Yeah, there's so much funny scenes with them, and let me think, and they definitely fit it in with the movie, and I would like the whole story. This whole story with them too, how they've been in the prize section for so long, and a kid has never gotten them, and that's what they've always wanted, and then they even want to go meet Bonnie. What was I gonna say? So yeah, Bunny and Ducky were hilarious. Now let's talk about what's his name, Duke Kaboom. He was funny. Yeah, the Canadian stuntman, the tiny toy with the motorcycle. He was pretty funny. I like that whole thing with how he had a kid named Rashawn. Rashawn didn't want him because he wasn't as fast as the commercial, and he's been traumatized by that since. And he's even still thinking like he's not as fast as the commercial, and he's still like sad about Rashawn. And yeah, like those scenes I thought were pretty great. Yeah, and he had a lot. Yeah, he had a lot of funny moments, a lot of cool moments too. Like in the end, and yeah. And so let's talk about Jessie now. Jessie's not in this movie much, but she's just trying. She's just trying to help. Like she's just trying to like. She's trying to like stall. What was it? Well, what is Jessie's character in this movie? I don't really think she even has a character in this movie, honestly. But she's just there. Like the whole gang is just there, actually. Like the gang doesn't really have much to do in this movie. I would definitely say this was the movie that we saw the least of the gang. But Jessie, like she's always like stalling for Bonnie's parents so they won't leave. Like she's making distractions, like pump like scratching their tires so they won't leave the amusement park until Woody and Forky get back. Yeah, and I thought Jessie had some pretty cool moments too. And then Bonnie and okay, let's get on to the Bonnie. Bonnie was pretty. Bonnie was a good character. I mean, just there to be just something that Forky and Woody loves. Wait, let me think. Is there anything else she's there for to be? She's nowhere near as good as Andy was, but she is a good character. And then Harmony was pretty good too. Yeah. And okay, let's get on to the setting of the movie now. Like I really love the setting a lot to this movie, like how this whole movie takes place in an amusement park. I thought that setting was so beautiful. It was the perfect setting for a summer movie actually. And yeah, and the whole amusement park thing like felt so real actually. Like this whole animation looks so real actually. Like when the movie first starts in the rainstorm, it looks unbelievably real, and the whole amusement park literally feels like a real amusement park that you would go to, like not just because of the scenery and the way it's set and the tone. The animation makes it look real too. Yeah, but yeah, just the whole amusement park feel was beautiful. And yeah, and I love movies like that so much that take place in a fair. It's so cozy. Yeah. Now let's talk about the soundtrack to this movie, which this soundtrack used the same soundtrack from the first three movies, and I thought the soundtrack was beautiful, like all the Toy Story movies music is. Sorry if I confused you right there, but I like how they used the same old music, like the little beats. You got a friend in me, like it was all beautiful. And then I like the new songs too, like I can't let you throw yourself away. The songs in the end credits. Yeah, all the new songs are good. Now let's talk about the comic relief. Like I said, this movie has a lot of comic relief, especially with Duck and Bunny. And yeah, it was those like the comic relief, like all the jokes in this movie really landed for me actually. The pacing to this movie I thought was pretty good too. Like this movie is like an hour and 30 minutes, I think, like or an hour and 40 minutes, but it goes by really fast though. Literally like it's paced super well. All the scenes are timed well. Yeah, the pacing was great. The let me think. Anything else I should say? And this movie did get pretty suspenseful, like with the dummies and like with the whole cat too. Like I thought all the suspense worked for me, and I like that scene a lot with the cat chasing after them. And once they barely leave from him, like they're all tired and they don't want to go back. Yeah, that scene was pretty. I thought that scene had a lot of emotion to it. Okay, anything else I should talk about? Okay, let's get on to some scenes that I really liked in the movie, such as that antique shop. I really like the antique shop a lot in this movie, and I love that scene where Woody and Buzz are looking at the lights of the antique shop. Gorgeous scene. Uh, Let me think. Anything else I should say? Oh yeah, and there's another character too that I forgot to mention. Um, I forgot her name, but it's like the tiny like the tiny toy Bo Peep's toy. Gigo McDimples, yeah, that's her name. She was pretty funny too, and I thought she was pretty dope too. Like how she was so tiny, and she was always like help for Bo. Yeah, yeah, she was dope. Now let's talk about any other scenes I should talk about. Let me think. Oh yeah, and I really like that scene in the antique shop where Bunny and Ducky were having the daydreams on how to get the key and how to get and their daydreams where they go and attack the old lady, like they attack her and they are all up in her face, and then the other flashback where the old lady leaves the store and just drives away home. They're like, where are you going with the story? Like, she drives away home. It just keeps going and going, and that's what's funny about it. Like, she's just home. She's cooking. She's drinking coffee. She's going in the refrigerator. She's taking a bath, and then she goes to sleep. And then Ducky and Bunny are right there. Yeah, that scene was hilarious. Let me think. Any other scenes I should say? Any other scenes I like in this movie? Let me think. Oh yeah, let's just talk about the ending now. Which I thought the ending was so was. Let me think. Was. I'm trying to think of the word for the ending actually. Like it brought me to tears actually. Like it was very heartwarming actually. The ending was like actually surprised me. Where Woody decides to stay with Bo Peep. Like she decides to stay with Bo Peep in the amusement park cause like he just wants to stay with his girl, and Bonnie doesn't even want him, so so he just wants to stay with his girl. And yeah, that ending literally brought me to tears, where all the toys had to say goodbye to Woody. Like all the toys were there to say goodbye to Woody, and even Forky said goodbye to him and hugged him, and then they just stay in the merry-go-round. And then Rex is like, does this mean Woody is a lost toy? And then Buzz is like, no, he's not lost. He's right where he needs to be, or he says something like that. And then the movie ends with just looking at the moon. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I like the ending with Gabby Gabby too, where Harmony doesn't want her and she just throws her away. That I thought that scene was very messed up. I remember when I saw that in theaters, everyone was very shocked and everyone was laughing. Yeah, but literally that scene always breaks my heart to see Harmony get rejected. Let me think. What else was I gonna say? So yeah, and then Woody decides to take Harmony with her to Bonnie, but then once they're running to the RV, Gabby decides to stay in the amusement park because there's another little girl that's lost, and so she goes there, and then the little girl takes Gabby, and then now Gabby has an owner. Yeah, that scene, tears as well. So to rate this movie, I'll definitely rate this movie an A+ actually. Yeah. Bye, and see you all in the next review.